The icy wind sliced through Evelyn Carter's threadbare coat as she stepped into the pristine glass doors of the luxury car dealership. Her frail hands clutched a worn leather purse, it seems barely holding together after years of use. She had spent decades saving for this moment, her first car purchase in nearly 30 years. A reward for a life of relentless work, quiet sacrifice, and unspoken dignity. But the second she crossed the threshold, the atmosphere shifted. A young man in an impeccably tailored navy suit eyed her with poorly concealed disdain. His nameplate read, Senior Sales Associate, Chase Whitman. He smirked before she even opened her mouth. "Ma'am," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm, "this might not be the place for budget shoppers." Laughter floated from the reception counter. Evelyn turned to see a blonde receptionist giggling behind manicured nails, whispering something to a coworker. Evelyn's heart sank, but she straightened her shoulders. "I know exactly what I'm looking for." She had done the research. Read reviews. Compared safety ratings. She had spent evenings memorizing specs and asking questions online. Her plan was clear, but Chase barely stifled a chuckle. "We do have some older trade-ins out back," he said, lowering his voice as though offering a favor. "Might be more in your range." Evelyn's fingers tightened around her purse strap. "I'd like to speak to someone else." Chase shrugged. "I'm a senior associate. You won't get a different answer." He gestured toward the door. "We're a bit busy today. I don't want to waste your time." Her cheeks burned. A couple of other customers glanced her way, their faces unreadable. She turned and walked toward the door, her dignity unraveling with each step. The receptionist whispered something else, and Chase laughed again. Outside, the winter sun glared down. Evelyn paused, hands trembling, heart pounding. She had never felt so small, but she was not a woman to be broken. She pulled out her phone and dialed a number she rarely used. "Mom," a deep voice answered. She took a breath. "I just had an experience." At a car dealership. There was silence. Then, "Which one?" She told him. Nothing more. The next day, a black Rolls-Royce Phantom glided to a halt in front of the dealership. Inside, the staff froze. The receptionist straightened her blouse. Chase squinted out the window. The door opened, and out stepped a man whose very presence seemed to shift gravity. Tall, poised, sharply dressed in a charcoal suit that whispered bespoke craftsmanship. His name was Damian Carter. To the world, he was a tech billionaire, philanthropist, and power broker. But today he was a son. He didn't introduce himself. He didn't need to. His gaze scanned the room until it landed on Chase. The smurf from yesterday evaporated. "I understand you had an interaction with my mother yesterday," Damian said. Chase opened his mouth, but no words came. Damian pulled out his phone and tapped it. Video footage played. Security cam. No sound, but the images were damning. Evelyn entering. Evelyn being dismissed. Evelyn walking out, humiliated. "I don't need an apology," Damian said, tucking his phone away. "I need numbers." The general manager emerged from his office. "Excuse me." Damian held up a checkbook. "Your asking price." "For the dealership." Gasps echoed. Chase stumbled back. The manager blinked. "Sir, that's highly unusual. Everything has a price. If this is about yesterday, we can resolve it internally." Damian smiled. "This is not a negotiation. It's a statement." He tapped his pen against the checkbook. "Now, the number." After a long silence, the manager finally spoke. 72 million. Damian wrote the check. Slightly above value. Immediate. Irrefutable. He handed it over. The manager stared. "Ladies and gentlemen," he finally said, "this dealership now belongs to Mr. Damian Carter." The room rippled with disbelief. Damian turned to Chase. "You humiliated my mother. Mocked her because you thought no one was watching. You're fired. Effective immediately." Security guards appeared. Chase stammered. "Mr. Carter, The doors closed behind him. Damian turned to the manager. "Let's discuss policy changes. My mother will be arriving soon." When Evelyn returned, in the same coat and scarf, the dealership felt different. Employees stiffened. Whispers floated. Eyes flickered. The manager greeted her with a reverence she had never known. "Mrs. Carter, welcome. We are honored to have you." She paused. She hadn't asked Damien to do any of this. She had called him to talk, not to conquer. Damien appeared at her side. "This is your dealership now, Mom. Pick the person you want assisting you today." She scanned the room. Not the manager. Not the receptionist. Then her gaze fell on a quiet young salesman in the back. His name tag read Eli Porter. He hadn't laughed. He had looked uncomfortable the day before. He had seen. She pointed. "You," she said. "Eli Dlinket." "Me?" She smiled. "Yes." Eli stepped forward, eyes wide. "I'd be honored to assist you, ma'am." They walked together through the showroom. She stopped at a deep blue sedan. "Tell me about this one." Eli cleared his throat. "Top model. V8 engine. Full tech suite. Leather interior. Designed for comfort and performance." She nodded. No arrogance in his voice. No pity. Just professionalism. "Do you like working here?" she asked. He hesitated. "I did." "What changed?" "The culture," he said softly. "It's all about sales, not about people." She nodded. "Respect is everything." Then she said, "I'll take this one." Eli smiled. "Excellent choice." She shook her head. "No, deal. I'll take 10. Gas again." Damien raised an eyebrow. The manager stepped forward. "Mrs. Carter, may I?" She lifted a hand. "No. Eli will process my order. Eli will get the commission." Eli stood still, stunned. "Mom, you showed respect. That matters." Damien looked on, proud. She turned to the staff. "This dealership will change. No more judging customers by their clothes or age or skin. That ends today." She looked at the receptionist. "Name?" "Emily, Mom." "Do you think yesterday was acceptable?" "No, ma'am." "How many of you stood by and said nothing?" she asked. No one answered. Disrespect is not a single act. It's a culture, and it ends now. Damien stepped forward. "What do you want to do?" "Fire the ones who need to go." A ripple spread through the room. "Daniel stays," she said, pointing to Eli. "He is promoted." Eli looked like he might faint. "Mom, no arguments. We need leaders who understand respect." She faced the staff. "You can stay and be part of the change, or you can leave." Silence. Then slow nods. Eyes lowered. The message was clear. She looked at Damien. "Now, I believe I have cars to pick up." Damien chuckled. "And I believe you have a business to run." And with that, Evelyn Carter walked forward, not just as a customer, but as the new heart of business that had once looked down on her. Now, it rose when she entered,